Welcome, everybody, to the American Space Museum. I'm Mark Marquez. So glad you joined us this afternoon with a great influencer in the space community and his beautiful partner. I'm talking about Mitch Rothman over here is the influencer, in case you didn't guess.
And this
And
is my
Paula
beautiful partner.
Rothman over there. Paula,
Hey there, Mark.
great to see you again. Last
Thank
time I
you.
saw you was at the Astronaut Hall of Fame
Yes, indeed.
last year. And these two people have become great supporters of the American Space Museum, specifically our Shuttle Fest, where they're going to be a financial backer of our Shuttle Fest April. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We welcome all of you here. There's Paula Rothman, co-administrator of NASA Manned Space. We're going to talk about that popular Facebook page. And we're just going to have a conversation. I said Mitch and Paula were going to be in town. They live south of here, about 3 hours, Lake Wales area, correct?
Yes.
And with your help, you wonderful Stay Curious watchers that have been so faithful to Marty and myself, you got some questions or something you want to direct our conversation, we're just going to have a little chit chat here about some current events, set it up a little bit here and there. But let me say hello to everybody out there, including Tommy Usiak. I owe you a phone call. Hadn't called him back yet today.
Okay.
And I know you because he turned us on to Chris Callie. Artist Chris Callie,
okay.
Tommy Usiak did, and
Okay.
Mark. And Chris, they're saying good afternoon to you. There you are, Tom. Dean Babcock says hi up in Illinois. And William Whiting is up in Michigan. And my daughter in Bristol, Tennessee, sent me pictures of it snowing there.
Yeah,
I
I
showed
saw
you
that,
guys
yeah.
in there. So um, we're going to talk about a few of the current events going on here. This is my happy hour of the day because I get to relax, believe it or not. Um, Becoming director of this museum, we're getting a lot of mojo going, and you've kind of seen me under fire and in action today. And I make no apologies for my discursive nature. Just deal with it.
Well,
True.
we were through here today. Earlier, Paula and I had a chance to go through. Then there was a nice energy here. We were back in the launch complex again, where you do the simulated launches.
Yeah.
And you had a good crowd in there. So if you haven't been here, you got to get here.
It's a lot
We've
of
had
fun.
really a good beginning of the year. Great guests all year long here. First guests opened up the door yesterday were from England. All right. And I posted a Facebook on that. So, we're a small staff, but we're going to really put some energy into this first quarter. We got an event going on every month that we'll briefly talk about. But Paula, I want to know a little more about you. Where'd you grow up and how'd you hook up with this guy?
Oh, it was a lovely blind date. I grew up in Brandon, so Central Florida, near
Okay, I know
Tampa.
Brandon a little bit.
Born in Jacksonville, so I'm a native Floridian. And then he asked me out on a blind date, basically. He met one of my friends, and my friend said, I have a friend who's single for you. It
Uh-huh.
was, gosh, in 1999.
Awesome.
And we got married in 2001. And so it's been, what, 23 years?
24.
24 years.
Now,
It'll be 24 this year.
now you come by.
And by the way, the wedding anniversary is on July 20th.
Oh, is it? You
Of
guys got
course.
married on Moon Day.
It has to be, of
We did.
course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Mitch,
My
tell us
baby.
about, while we just segue to that, Mitch is involved with an effort to make July 20th a national holiday, Moon Day. We're going to get behind that as hard as we can. Talk about
Yeah.
that.
So, and I appreciate that. It's being spearheaded by Bob Slater.
I got
friend
an
of mine.
email from Bob the other
Okay.
day. I'll get back to you, Bob, about it.
Bob may be tuned in right now. He knows that we're talking today. Yeah, Bob is leading this effort to have July 20th declared National Lunar Landing Day, a national holiday. We were up in D.C. lobbying for it in November. We're going back in March, and hopefully we'll have a few more people that will be able to join us, folks that have voiced their support for the holiday. Now,
What day in March, in case people are watching it, live in the area and want to support you?
we'll post about it. I don't remember. I want to say it's well, I want to say it's the 11th through the 13th, but that's Shuttle Fest in April.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not exactly sure, but it's somewhere mid March. But as I say, we'll talk more about it certainly
Okay.
on the Facebook group, and we'll keep you posted on it as well. And we have a few things that we're working on. I don't know if you saw in the news where the bald eagle has now officially been declared the national bird. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, instead of the turkey?
Well, I don't.
I thought that was done deal a long time ago.
Well, that maybe yeah, there's that talk that I guess Ben Franklin was the turkey
Yeah.
guy, but apparently that the eagle was not the national bird
Huh.
until just last week. And there was a man, I believe his name was Preston Scott, who led the effort on that, and he was stood up at a press conference yesterday next to Amy Klobuchar, the senator from Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
to uh, regale in the fact that now he has his advocacy has resulted in the eagle being the national bird. So the point is the eagle has landed. There's sort of a blend there, and now Preston Scott has he has now voiced his support for our effort as well. And hopefully his project was a little different than ours in that he wasn't looking for a national holiday, but his advocacy and the people that he knew and knows along the way will be helpful.
Mitch, that's great. We're going to get all behind that, and we'll keep you apprised of that here on Stay Curious this year. Mitch, we have someone in this building. In fact, he's in this room who worked on the electrical system on the Eagle,
Yes,
lunar module
that's
number
right.
5. There's Marty over there. Hi, Marty. You were going to say something on that UCAC family microphone over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, move the mic closer to Paula.
All right. And that's why he's my partner here on here.
Okay.
Hello there to Carlton Bailey. And Carlton, don't be surprised if the New Glenn moves out 48 hours again. We'll talk about that New Glenn here in a minute. John Borelli's up there in New York. He's probably got his snowshoes on. And, oh, good. Tom Usiak is leading our Shuttle Fest panel on photography, and he said Jim Nealhouse, who trained the astronauts on the IMAX camera, has accepted his invitation to be part of the
Terrific.
photography panel at Shuttle Fest. So
Breaking news.
we'll talk more about Shuttle Fest here in a few minutes because, yeah, breaking news. Other breaking news, the Ramanujan family are going to financially support the expenses of 2 astronauts. That is
That's
our Go
awesome.
History Travel friends. And I'm going to post a picture of them on. Just been so busy today. Haven't had a chance to get that on today. And Bob Slater. Hi, Mitch and Paula. Dr. Bob Slater. He a friend of yours?
He is. He's the point
That's
on
the
lunar landing.
That's the
day.
lunar landing guy we was talking
Yeah,
about.
he's
Yeah,
joining
duh,
us
duh.
from he's joining us from
And Tom
California.
Celentano, Happy New Year. We showed your picture yesterday, Tom. And we're going to show more of y'all's pictures as I see them on Facebook or out in the public. I'm not going to surprise you with something that you don't want shown on the air here. So thank you all for watching today. Wanted to show you Mitch's, we've got the our badges on today. My Arse Cup directly from Cliff Watson in Australia. Can't make this stuff up. Arse in America means your hind end.
Coffee.
But here it is the Australian Research and Space Exploration. That's their NASA. And I've got coffee in here that Mitch pitches. Mitch's pitch is, tell us about this. This is a clever marketing tool. And
Well-
again, something I'm going to steal from you eventually. We're going to get with your vendor here. What's his name?
Danny, I've actually already been in contact with Danny about a relationship with the museum. In other words, you can go into museums around the country, Air and Space Museums, and his line of products are there. Danny's Rocket Ranch.
Good.
Danny is he bills himself as a space food entrepreneur. This is a single cup of coffee that's private labeled with our NASA Manned Space
It's
logo.
good. It's a little like a cappuccino, too. I like the flavor.
Yeah,
I really
well,
do.
and you
That's a
can
great
get
I've had it
God.
before, and I said, until you bring me more. I'm gonna save it. But
I got plenty more with me actually, and so this one actually comes with cream and sugar. You can get it either cream and sugar, or just black.
Okay.
So we have a
I usually
variety.
take mine black, but the cream and sugar does taste like a cappuccino.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice thing after dinner in the evening.
Yeah,
And then you just go to, it also doubles as a business card because you scan the QR codes and you can go to our Facebook group and our YouTube
And
channel.
nobody throws away this business card.
No,
They keep it and
yeah,
they scan
it's
it and then
something.
they drink
Yeah, you
it.
get things you go like, I don't want to throw that away on there. So tell us a little bit about Paula Mann's Space. By the way, did you marry him and become a space geek?
Oh God.
Or were you interested?
How could I not be?
Well, okay, yeah.
If I want to be able to converse with my husband, I need to know a little bit about
Gee, I had
space.
2 wives that didn't quite get that. That I've been doing astronomy since 8 years old. You think you're
Yeah.
going to change that in me? I
Right.
don't
Yeah,
think
when
so.
we're in the hot tub at night, I need to be able to understand what's
Right,
going on in the
exactly.
space community.
That was on top of a mountain, not
Yeah.
fooling around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
looking
no.
at Hale Bop.
Yeah.
And it's
for the 10th time.
entertaining, and it is.
It is
There's always
entertaining.
something going on.
Right.
We've met the nicest people. I feel like Mitch has met his community, and he kind of it's amazing the people that we've met. They've all
It's an
been so
eclectic.
nice.
I call this Renaissance group of people. I've been in astronomy clubs for all my life, and that's exactly, I think, by Renaissance I mean people have a lot of other interests.
Yes.
There's a lot of people in astronomy that are into cars or into guns or into photography and they're just not into it. They learn it proficiently, like as much
And
as they
little
can. Those are
niches.
Renaissance people.
Like watches. I think of all the little niches. Everybody has a little focus area, and it's nice.
It is.
We've loved everyone we've met through this.
Well, good. Tell us about this Facebook page here. How was it born? I inherited ours, had 400 people on it. Now we got 12,000. You have over 20 some thousand?
We have over 17,000.
17,000?
Yeah, and we
Okay.
have about, and we have over 2,400 on the YouTube channel.
And how did it come about, Paula?
So what happened was I was posting Mitch's YouTube videos on various Facebook groups, and sometimes people would get sick of it because I don't know, I posted a little too often sometimes maybe. And we talked about, we should just set up your own Facebook page. Why not? And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been into Facebook a little longer than Mitch. He was never into social media. He didn't really realize there was groups. So once you identified, oh, this is a group.
Yeah, we launched
thing,
we launched it.
perfect.
We launched the YouTube channel came first because there was something more tangible there. You can make something and put it up and people watch it. The Facebook thing was less intuitive to me. I didn't, for some time I've tried to figure out, well, what do I do with this space?
And why are we having it?
Right. How is it relevant? And so, that's how this whole, the daily pronouncement of what happened in space history came about. In fact, Paul is wearing today her Molly Brown, America's first Gemini manned flight, right? So,
Which is
23.
in March 23rd. We'll be celebrating that.
but today in 1962,
Mm-hmm.
the name Project Gemini became the official name of the second manned American space program. It was going to be called the Mercury Mark II program, but today, 62 years ago.
Well, I am going to have to harvest that and put that up over the weekend from you because, as we've talked about, NASA said that we're pronouncing this program not Gemini, like the constellation in the sky, but Gemini, like Walt Disney's Jiminy Cricket in
Right.
Pinocchio. And I'm going to send I'll try to find that news article that they actually said that.
I've actually read that somewhere, and I'm thinking it may have been in Norman Mailer's book.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that of a fire on the moon?
You have a fire on the moon?
I
Wow.
believe
Hadn't
it
thought about Norman Mailer in a long
I
time.
believe it may have been in there, but somewhere in some book they talked about NASA's decision to actually. I mean, there was actually a memo went out over this decision.
Well, we're enjoying a conversation with Mitch and Paula Rothman here, space influencers with their Manned Space Media. And also, they are very philanthropic, as much as you can be, I imagine. Particularly, they've contributed to the American Space Museum. If you want to do that, go to our website. Up at the top is a yellow button that you could do that. Or just put your name on a $20 bill and mail it to me here, and I'll make sure it gets in there. But no, you all are fortunate and that you can go to a lot of events. And I say that this is a couple that goes to a lot of black tie events around the country that you might see posted on your Facebook page and so forth. Tell us about some of the things that you've gone to that you enjoy.
Well, just recently we were at one. We've been to, I guess, a lot of events at different museums. So we went to a showing of the astronaut and the artist and the astronaut. That was very fun.
Jerry Carr and his wife,
Mhm.
Yeah,
what's her name?
Pat Music.
No, it
yeah.
wasn't black tie.
That
was
was
a
an
lot of
event,
fun.
But where was
wasn't
that at?
That was at the Stafford in Weatherford, Oklahoma. That was an event we participated in.
It has to be on your bucket list, fans. If
It
the,
was
if the Tom
amazing.
Stafford Museum is not on your bucket list, it needs to be.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. an
That is a
amazing place.
fabulous, amazing facility.
Absolutely.
I mean, I like it as much as Johnson Space Center, really. Johnson Space Center's got the dioramas of Apollo 17 there,
Right.
and the America,
That's right.
and the moon rocks. I do like that they have a display of
Yeah,
the
they
lunar
definitely.
receiving lab.
I think.
I'm telling you, that's Tom Stafford's museum.
Yeah.
Is overwhelming.
And shocking to be where it's located.
Yeah, at his hometown outside Oklahoma City
Yeah.
on I-40.
Well, you think of it as kind of a small town, great restaurants though. And then there's this humongous museum.
Yeah.
With so much.
Well,
to
and there's a
see.
whole cluster of museums there. Alan Bean, actually, when I drove from Colorado, I was at Colorado this summer when the general died, and then went to his museum.
Uh-huh.
And on the way to Oklahoma from Colorado, I drove through Wheeler, Texas.
Yeah,
home-
that's his hometown.
hometown of
Bellamy.
Alan Bean, and also it's where so the Wheeler County there's a historical museum there that's dedicated a large part of its collection to Alan Bean.
Well, that's how I found this museum. I, in early retirement, wanted to do blogs and write my column of space that I wrote for over 20 years in Johnson City paper. And Wikipedia said there were 34 space museums in America. This was the 17th one I came to. And I fell in love with it, thought that my skills could help out. Our late director, Karen Conklin, and I really hit it off. I miss Karen every day deeply in trying to carry her legacy of STEAM education and keeping America's space program at the forefront of young people, particularly
Sure.
on there. So we're very, and I'm very blessed, and to make new friends like you guys every year. Marty and I were talking about like who's our best new friend this year. You know, we've met so many great people this year that not only have helped benefit the status of the American Space Museum, but also enriching my personal life as friendships in there. And you're definitely, we're on the list there. But you'll probably be the 2025 nominee on there. Marty, we'll talk about some of you other people that have been in here before. Who was I thinking was our best new friend this year? Not Terry White. He would be 2023.
I don't know, Mark. We mentioned so many people. I don't know.
Gary
It
Algar.
is amazing. And I was specifically thinking Chris Calley, just you guys are brothers and sisters for the rest of my life, I hope. Really.
Yeah,
There's no reason not to be.
Well, and we've talked about this before. We've only known each other for only really a year or maybe a couple of years at the most. Because I only
We've
met.
known each other 9 months. maybe,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
You and me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's even less. But when that space thing is something, we have a lifetime of an interest that
Yeah.
we share. Our lifetime interest, right? So it's almost as though it's instant friend. You have that comes.
It's hard to find someone that can share it with you on the same level.
That's right.
And we're not talking a very high intellectual level.
Exactly.
It's just a level that
It's
you
a-
read a lot of books.
It's
you
a
pay attention to what's
dysfunctional
going
level.
on. It is. It can be a financial dysfunctional level.
That's right.
With all the books coming out and
That's
stuff
right.
like that.
That's right.
Well, we hope that you want to join us if you got a question or something. Donna Martinez,
Hello,
friend of
Donna.
yours.
My sister.
Your sister.
Yes.
Hello, Donna. She says, hey, hi, and hi, Paul and Mitch, and Squeebles.
Oh, yes. Squeak.
Squeebles is
My nieces.
that's your nieces,
Yeah.
yeah. We love Man Space. Their videos are spectacular. Thank you for having them on. Yeah, Squeebles was on last time.
That's right.
You and I were on for about an hour and 20 minutes, and we're not going to do that this time because we got a
We have
date
a dinner
tonight.
date.
We all have a
Yes.
date
That's right.
tonight. Where are we going tonight?
We are going to the place where every space geek goes when they're on the Space Coast. We're going to Zorella's for dinner.
Yep.
And
To
actually,
eat some pizza
well, that's
with an R.
You're having pizza tonight?
Oh, hell yes.
All right. I don't know, UCAC, if they got lasagna on the menu. That's Jack Lausman's favorite.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
they only make that once in a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't been there
bet
for a
it's- I
while,
bet it's
and
good.
I talked to John.
Yeah, he'll be
yesterday,
there.
and he's
John will
gonna
be holding
there.
court tonight.
His son Mike Zarella is the owner, and
Uh-huh.
they're quite a tourist.
We actually had dinner. We sat with Mike at when Scott Kelly was inducted in. No, the Senator Mark Kelly
yeah,
was inducted into the Astronaut Hall of Fame. We had at the gala dinner that night. We sat with.
oh, did you?
Yeah, I can't. What's his son's name? Is it Sam? Is his son?
Zarella?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know Mike Sam's name. Or
You said Mike.
Mike Zarella. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, his
that's
name's
his
Mike.
name.
Yeah, that's his son.
Mike's name. Yeah. Okay.
Michael.
All right, and his wife. I can't remember her
Yeah,
name.
he's
but
the owner there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get together with a bunch of space geeks.
Yeah, I don't know who all is going to be there.
Ellen will.
Ellen Runyon, who's going to be providing the bling bags for
Right.
Shuttle Fest
Ellen
this
was
year, will
on.
be there.
Showed you a picture of you two the other day. He also goes by Ellen Leonard. Not sure what that's about. You'll tell me about that later.
Well, you can ask her later when you see her over dinner.
Okay.
I don't know.
She's going to be sponsoring Shuttle Fest. We'll talk about Shuttle Fest here in a little bit, a few minutes, touch on it. No, it's this is why I think we all hit it off with people, is that you understand, one, the facts and figures and stuff about. It's not too complicated. It's not really rocket science to understand the American space program, but that we support it. But also, Mitch and Paula, when you meet astronauts and when you meet the VIPs of NASA, all right, like you have more than once of each person over and over and over, they want to bond with you because they can't find anybody that can speak on their level either. You find it kind of that way. So it's just really a cool community that is. I mean, there's more people that are into bass fishing in America than are the American Space Museum. I guarantee you. Okay, but when you can say some astronauts, and I have a couple VIP friends that are business friends, type of thing. They're not. Maybe it evolves to where you do go over to their house once in a while, like you did Scott Carpenter's house.
That's
saw
right.
Him,
That's
right?
right.
So what do you think about that, Paula?
Well, I've actually enjoyed meeting a lot of just the random people that worked at NASA. So I'm thinking of the people in Texas we've run into.
Yeah.
And they weren't VIPs, but they really made that program what
Oh.
it was, the Apollo program. They worked for the
Well, we're talking Marty, and that's what our
That's
program's
right.
all about.
People
here.
like Marty.
We in our
love
museum
that.
celebrating the space worker. Yeah.
Yes, the people
Yeah.
who were just they weren't celebrated.
Right.
The
exactly.
people that were not celebrated.
And that's what we're
We've
trying to
loved
do is
meeting them.
give them a celebration there. Carlton Bailey's asking, he's not been invited. His feelings are hurt. How can we make him feel better?
Come on out.
We could come out and he could buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll allow you to come and you could buy us dinner.
See, Mark and I think differently. I was going to say, well, we should invite him out and we'll buy, but
That's what he wants. No, CB. We've all been busy. I didn't mention that to you there, but thought you might know about it. Yeah, Stengy had the lasagna, and Dave Stengy's up in Michigan. And hello, Gary Gerald. Just got off his tractor up there in Collins, Georgia, planting Vidalia onion
Ooh,
seeds.
how
Well,
nice.
then you gotta tell them about your eggs.
Oh yeah,
that
well, you
come-
brought us some eggs here.
So,
Marty, hand me those eggs. We can't talk about eggs without the prop.
and then you're gonna have to ask Paula about the egg. She's the egg expert.
All right,
I
you
am the
handed me
expert on the
these,
This is a
eggs.
dozen. There's another dozen over there.
and these are
The
these are
packaging is
Sunshine
not.
State cage-free eggs.
Actually, they're my chicken's
Actually,
eggs.
they're
But we use
they're recycled.
recycled
It's a
containers.
recycled egg crate. But
That's all right.
we have well, Paula raises. We have about 30 chickens.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do. We have
Oh my
29
gosh, I'm gonna
hens.
love that.
Yeah,
They're
they
my
gave
little
us. So
mamas.
those were probably fell out of a hen yesterday.
I'll have a Saturday omelet tomorrow.
There you go.
Right,
Good.
mushroom
They're
Swiss
delicious.
omelet.
That's
And
and wait till you see the color of those
I'll
yolks.
enjoy that. All right. Why are they
They're-
psychedelic or
They're
something?
orange.
They're orange.
They're lovely.
Okay.
They're because first of all, it's organic egg, and they free range
Pasture
birds.
raised.
Yeah, and so what they eat is reflected in what those yolks look like. It's a rich, creamy yolk, not like the yellow,
Okay.
the bright yellow that you'll see at the
Do
supermarket.
they make a
So
better
good.
baking egg?
Oh,
Are
they
you a
make.
baker?
Well, I do bake, and yes, they are amazing in
Okay,
baking.
because I like to bake occasionally and
Great
in
eggs.
there. So
For
great.
sure.
Well, let's see what I racked. I wanted to talk. There you are. Picture taken moments ago.
There we are.
And what do you think of our museum, Paula?
I loved it. Yeah, I had been to this museum about, I don't know, 10 years ago, it seems, or
When it wasn't here.
it wasn't at this
Yeah, we've
location.
been here 9 years ago. We were over at the Main Street.
That's
before
where-
me even there.
Okay. And
Um,
so seeing it here, this has been amazing. You have so much more space, for one thing.
Well, Nick Enix has done a great job. Our collections manager. He was roaming around here a little bit ago. He's a volunteer, and first thing Nick did. He and I came about the same time 7 years ago. There was actually twice as many artifacts in these cases as we have now. First thing we did was photograph everything, and then he got put up about half of it. It was just too much and too
Okay.
much stuff, and and some of it got a little overboard, like a Kennedy Space Center pennant or something like that. That's not really who we are,
Right,
in
right.
there. But so, and behind you is our legacy board of the Kohlers that Dr. Al Kohler, who's in his 80s, was hired at age 17 at Kennedy Space Center right out of high school, and he and his dad put together. This is the pads are shown at Cape Canaveral, and they roll over. There was a big video, TV monitors everywhere, VHS tape, the history of Cape Canaveral, and as they talked about one pad, it would flip over from the green to the rocket thing. So they had
Oh, I
motors
see.
under there.
Well,
They
where you
had-
can still. This
Yeah.
thing is cool. Marty was showing it to us before we came in
see if
here. You can see it. There's chains under there that
Yeah.
things would move on. There are tracks
Yeah.
that these launch
Quite,
pads
quite,
move
quite
on.
a thing, quite
really-
an attraction. They had it when they were at the malls, and then that Saturn V signed by 4 or 5 Apollo astronauts there behind you there. So,
Very nice.
what sticks out to you in the museum that you come here a couple times now that
Well,
you keep wanting to see over and over?
one of the things that I think is cool is that old and this is right in Marty's wheelhouse. It's that old contractor model out there of the LEM when it was still the LEM, right? With
Yeah.
the round.
Yeah.
You got that old one with the round.
Oh, that's one of my
hatch.
favorites too. You have to take a picture and put it on your face.
I did actually. I did.
No, it's in a
With-
little
in the last few
disrepair.
days.
It's got a few. It's probably worth $10,000. It's
It-
it's the 1962 version of the lunar module.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
5 legs.
right.
2 docking hatches. It ended up being 4 legs, 1 docking hatch,
And square hatch, not
Yeah.
around, right? They were literally sticking that PLIS, the portable life support system, that square peg wouldn't go through that round
Gary
hole.
Gerald's seen it. He knows what we're talking about. Gary and his wife Donnie. About time for you to come down here and get warmed up, Gary. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you. And then in the spring he brings us Vidalia
Right.
onions. And
Oh,
I'll
I
let
was
you know
telling
about
Paul
that.
That's
I was
so
telling
good.
Yeah, in
Paul
fact,
that.
that would be a good reason for me to take a road trip down to see you all.
Yeah.
So what I racked up here next, fans, is I'm holding here also. This is our 2024 guest list on a picture of the press site. I meant to bring a new one in for you to sign and didn't, but I will get you to sign it later. But over 45 45 guests this year. All right, I'm looking on my board over there because I wrote them down. Yeah, we've had over 45 guests, new guests, not counting the repeats of Nick Thomas,
Right.
astronaut wrangler, coming about
So-
10 times this year. Mikey Haddad, 8 or 9 times. Terry White's been on every month,
Right.
12 times. Okay. Who am I leaving out, Marty? That's our regulars. We've had
Gary Algeier.
Gary Allgaier. God bless you, Gary. Don't want to leave Gary out. Gary's signature's right over there. Gary's signature's right there, right beside Paula's. Gary Allgaier. Above Paula is astronaut Charlie Walker. We love Charlie Walker. He knows Marty's an easy touch for a meal every time he comes. Charlie Walker.
All right.
He's learned that, hasn't he, Marty? And Mike Baker. Bakes is another one that knows we're an easy touch for a free meal and a couple beers there. Bakes is on here. Of course, Tommy Usiak's on there. Caroline Shoemaker.
Okay.
Talked to Caroline this morning.
ASF,
My day
yeah.
started at 9 o'clock talking to her. She's the CEO of the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation.
She's also a member of NASA Man Space.
Yeah, she's she is on our webpage. How about Captain Daniel DeYoung, Marty? You know Dan, the airplane captain. He's from his wife's from the Ukraine. You know Daniel DeYoung?
I don't.
You'll meet
Yeah.
him at Shuttlefest this
Okay.
year.
That I know of.
He's from the Netherlands,
Okay.
and one of the new great
Doesn't
Bert
sound
Dick,
familiar.
Mike
Bert?
Chinelli's on there. How about Alex Carl, the Eurocom from ESA? We need to catch up with him. We've got another astronaut there, Leo Proctor. She was on the St. Jude's. We interviewed her.
Okay.
How about Lowell Grissom, sat
Yeah.
right here, Gus Grissom's brother. Just on and on. We've got 5 or 6 kids, rocket scientists from via
So
space.
this is last year.
This is 2024.
So I
There's
don't.
Carlton Bailey's. You're covering him up, and
I don't know that I
Remind
signed
away.
this. I was a guest in 2024.
we'll get you to sign this one. Then.
You didn't
You know
sign
what?
it.
I think that's the one you got away, and I'm saying we didn't get you to sign it. Marty and I both signed it because
I
we were
see that.
guests on here. What other astronaut I'm missing? I know John Harrington's on here somewhere.
Okay.
Uh,
And there's Carlton Bailey.
Yep. So, and great
you said
people
that
on
already.
here like my God, Marty. How about I still like the hold down joint guy,
Oh, is that Bob Grenat?
Daryl
Higginbotham.
Daryl Higginbotham. We did him a couple weeks ago. Clay Walker, another great. Clay's up there in silver beneath Burt Dick. Clay had pictures of Slick 6 out at Vandenberg
Okay.
under construction, the shuttle pad up there. So all I can say is mwah, thank you all for participating and wanting to see we're doing a interview every week, at least one, and we want to up that to have more interviews and conversations like this. They don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be a whole lot of slideshows like we sometimes get involved in. It can just be what we're doing here. So, yep, Cliffy's there too, Dave Stange. Cliff took up a whole side over there.
Bob Grenat.
Yeah, Bob Grenath is another. We're going to have Bob on multiple times on here. In fact, when we get Bob and we can't leave out the educator out at Kennedy Space
Oh,
Center.
Lee Wilson. Ely Wilson.
Ely Wilson.
Is that who you're
I'm gonna
thinking
get but no, someone who's been on a couple times, Marty. Oh, he did the Apollo 8. He did the movies. He did a great show on the movies. He's a docent out there at Space Center. I keep wanting to say Steve, and that's not right. Steve.
I know who you mean. I just
Yeah. We may see his name on here.
let me look for it.
What guests do you like seeing on Stay Curious since you become a viewer?
I would
Paula?
have to say Mitch Rothman.
Oh, do you? You like him the best?
He's the one I like the
Winston
best.
Scott's on here. Winston Scott, and we've also got the other astronaut. Oh my God, where is he? On there. How about you? What guests do you like then, Mitch Rothman? If you're the number one, and
Well, so Terry White's always interesting. The Shuttle Garage.
yeah,
He's always got some great stories, right? So I would say Terry's
Good
a
choice.
guest that
Terry White,
I
very popular.
enjoy.
My sister, Sherry Matthews was on here
Yes,
when she
I
came
saw
to see
that
me
one.
get the
Yeah,
Colcom Award.
that's right. That's right.
Jean Wright was
I
on
see
here,
that.
the So Sister. We had Jean on here. And I'm embarrassed that I can't think of that other good friend of ours that does a good show. And I saw his name the other day and said I need to give him a call. Um, but
And Mitch just tried on Jean's shirt recently and said he wants another one.
Yeah, I need a new Jean Wright shirt. I'm hoping she'll be at dinner.
yeah, I don't think he signed that, in fact. But anyway, he did it Apollo 8. Oh, God. Why can't I think his name? Anyway, great guy. It'll come up here. Well, here's a little brag slide here. The recap on our YouTube is we have 3,631 subscribers. All right, that's not too shabby.
No, it's not easy.
We had to get 1,000 to monetize it,
Right.
and it took us about 2 years to get 1,000
Right.
before we could move Stay Curious from Facebook to YouTube. Thank you, Bruce Jacobs, our IT guy, for doing that. Over 9,000 likes. We have actually uploaded 240 episodes of Stay Curious. Now, probably that might be about 230 because
Okay.
10 of those are probably Shuttlefest. We loaded up each of the Shuttlefest panels last year.
Okay.
So we've done about 235 episodes of Stay Curious on here. So that's the tail of the tape there. We're proud of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of eyes.
Which they give you a thumbs up and a little silver cup there to kind of encourage you, I guess, there. But
Yeah, I got that this morning myself. They sent that for the YouTube channel. I guess that's their year-end recap that they send to people.
okay.
So,
What'd yours look like?
you have a lot more eyes looking at your stuff than I do. But you have a lot more uploads than I do. A lot of the material on mine is stuff that we put up in the past and then recycled through the Facebook
Mhm.
And they're shorter.
group.
And they're a lot shorter.
Well,
than,
we have
they're
some,
not
yeah,
hour-long.
that's right. Typically,
Yeah.
they're a lot shorter.
All right. Something you wanted to talk about on your mind about? We're going to talk about our astronaut memorial and Shuttlefest to end the program here. But
Yeah, so well, actually, Shuttlefest was really what I was wanted to talk about. Give you an opportunity, but
okay, well let's do that. Then I'll tell you what we'll talk about is the upcoming launches.
okay.
Okay. We want to let everyone know first that our astronaut memorial is this last Sunday of the month. You've never been to this before, have you?
Paula was there last year.
Were you?
Last
Yeah.
year. Mhm.
I'll be
Okay.
there this year. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
it was
Okay.
lovely.
Let's see. We had
She met Lowell Grissom then at that.
right. Yeah, Lowell Grissom was cool. He usually comes to support his brother
Right.
at the event they have at Pad 34. Don't know if Lowell will be here or not. He's gotten kind of long in the tooth in his 80s, but he always stops by. Andy Allen is our speaker this year. Last year we had Mike McCulley and Paula. Tell everybody if they watch it on YouTube or come to it in person. How did it strike you?
Oh, I thought it was very touching, for sure. And there was I guess because I think, weren't you at the funeral at about the same time?
I
Out
don't.
west?
I couldn't be here, so Paula went.
Yeah, it was very touching. It was an emotional tribute. You go and you're in front of this beautiful memorial wall. They have places for everybody to sit. You're watching
You're talking about the memorial.
the memorial,
Yeah,
right?
that is the you're on the no. You
What was I supposed to be
that
talking
was
about?
this is it, and people get that confused. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay. This is what I thought
That
you
is the
meant.
Astronaut Memorial Foundation celebration
Hmm.
out at Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex.
That's what
Yeah.
she was at.
That was what I
Ours
went
is in
to.
downtown Titusville, not in our Spaceview Park, but the park just north of it is a flagpole with 17 bronze plaques around of everybody, of all the 17 fallen Apollo,
Okay.
Challenger, and shuttle in there. And it is emotional. It's very patriotic.
Okay.
We have cadets, escort, a person that puts a carnation on the plaque. Certain people want to do the same astronaut. For example, we have Judy Resnick's high school friend Candy, comes from Akron, Ohio, to honor her schoolmate that way. And so it's a very, the first time I saw it, I cried. Tears. I
Yeah.
mean, this is so emotional. They do a little brief 3-minute bio of each of the astronauts. So 17 astronauts times 3 is going to take an hour to do that. But of course, these are people that are our heroes, and we want to never forget their sacrifice and how things have gone on. So you guys need to come to
We
it.
do,
Yeah, well-
no
Okay.
doubt.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
on
is-
the calendar.
But
already.
yes, and the memorial one is the next. We do it on Sunday, and I think they're doing it always on the third. The
Well, don't they always do it on as close to the 27th as they can of
or
January?
28th, I think. Ours is the 26th. So yeah, they do it on 28th. Yes, Marty.
Okay.
It's 3 people I don't think you mentioned.
3 people to mention that have been on our show this year. Where'd I put the?
I got it.
Marty's got it.
Roger. Oh yeah, Roger Crouch, astronaut Roger Crouch, Julian Leake.
Oh, no kidding.
Absolutely, yeah. Roger Crouch was here with Winston Scott.
Okay.
Roger's wife gave Winston a Valor of Honor American flag, something that she does. She was here, very charming lady. Frank Norris, yes, Frank Norris is another one. Still can't think of the guy that I want to think of. I'm so embarrassed. A is his last name, I think. He's a communicator at Space Center. But we'll come up. Julian Leakes, a photographer. Yeah, astronaut Roger Crouch. He was on the repeat mission, 84, 93,
Oh,
up in there.
okay.
No, the astronaut memorial is a beautiful tribute, and then we'll have a reception down here. Andy Allen, I think, will be very special because Andy was a pilot and then a commander of Columbia.
Okay.
So
Well, we will
losing
have to come to
Columbia
that.
has to be very special to him. And of course, we lost the 7 astronauts, but like we talked to Terry White and others all the time, the 8th member that they lost
Was
was
the
the
vehicle.
orbiter
Yeah.
Columbia itself on there. And so hope that y'all can join us. We're making the arrangements already to do it on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, I mean. And if you're in town, make arrangements to come to that from 1 to 3 o'clock at Spaceview Park here in downtown Titusville. And as the picture shows there, we have 2 high school kids that put a apple on the Kristen McCullough
okay.
plaque there. Those are the plaques with the flower on there.
Okay.
So, all right. And then the final thing we'll talk about our events here is how we kind of got to we're all excited about, and I need to make a new slide here to put your Man Space logo on there, and also to put John Grunsfeld on there.
That's right.
So, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 astronauts are committed.
Confirmed.
You bet I have a big smile on my face because this is something that we've worked hard to put the brand American Space Museum on from now on. And the first 3 were successful, but I characterize them as sort of Mark's lemonade stand. And now we got brick and mortar built up. We got some sponsorships. We got people understand that they want this, and you wanted it so much. You out there, your Chris Calley and UCAC brothers and others out there, that we made it 2 days. 2 days of panels. Saturday's going to be Hubble Huggins Saturday. We're going to have Joe Tanner and John Grunsfeld talk about what it's like to repair the most magnificent telescope ever built. Next, of course, now the Webb telescope. Grunsfeld, 3 times he was on missions to the Hubble, the last human being to touch the Hubble telescope. And then Sunday, we're going to have the one and only Eileen Collins, first female pilot and commander. And then Don Thomas, everybody's happy favorite astronaut. Don Thomas, who boldly says that if you opened a restaurant, Marty, you're going to remember this. He says if you opened a restaurant with astronaut-only food, he would never go there.
Oh, no
He
doubt.
is not a fan of astronaut food.
Yeah,
He says in his
freeze-dried.
talk, I'm not even going to tell you it tasted good. I had to have it to live.
I wonder what he would have thought of the Apollo stuff.
Yeah, probably even worse on there. So we're proud to put 4 astronauts together this early in the game, and have partners like you join us to want to financially help us. We're blessed with that, and we're taking donations. We're taking. You want to put your swag in our swag bag that Ellen is so gratefully going to supply us with 150 swag bags. I was looking around
There
for
was
it there.
one here earlier.
Gonna cost you $50 to put something in our swag bag, okay? Steve Jokums, you've already done that. And by the way, where is Steve Jokums today? We're missing you, buddy. 2 days in a row. Hope he's all right. And Dave Stangy, I do know that 77 tickets are available. We've sold 48 tickets at $90 each. I guarantee you it will probably be $190 for the 5th one, because we'll probably have to do it at the Cocoa Beach Hilton. Oh,
That's right.
poor us having to do, but it's going to cost me a lot more money than it is on there. So yes, we're doing well in advanced sales, and I'm going to start pumping that big time next week. Tom Usiak, Lee Wilson is a communicator out there, but I'm not thinking of him. I'm thinking of somebody else that I'm going to have to die.
He's an older guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
all right. He's a kind of a baby
Well, older
boomer
than
like us
Lee.
in there.
even.
Yeah, older than Lee. So that's our shuttle fest up there. To me, folks, it's all about the fellowship, and also what I'm very pleased with is we have got people that want to be part of Shuttle Fest that haven't been part of it before, and I'm going to say that is space hipster Emily Carney, who is now on our board of directors. How about Dave Chudwin? You've certainly met Dave
I
along
have,
the way,
yeah.
haven't you?
So was
We
Paula.
have.
Yeah, Dave. It's nice that he's going to be here.
Dave bought his ticket,
Great,
and I'm going to
yeah.
let him
Awesome.
autograph
Sign
his
some
books
books.
there. We have a potential to have 6 book authors there. Yes, Jonathan Ward's going to be there. He is the co-author of Mike Leinbach's definitive book on Columbia, I Say, Bringing Columbia Home.
Mhm.
And then he worked with Eileen Collins on Through the Glass Ceiling to Space. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, Dean Babcock got the name. It's Steve Agate.
Oh,
Thank you, Dean Babcock. Steve, see, I said it began with an A.
He also said
That's right.
Steve. But
That's right.
And
That's-
Steve, too.
That's right.
Steve
You were on
Agate.
it.
I apologize if you're watching, but Steve, we need you on once a month. He's kind of humble about his knowledge, though he's very knowledgeable. You know Steve Agate?
I know. I saw the show.
That's driving me nuts. Thank you, Dean, so much for bringing that up.
Because he's only been.
He's done about 4 shows
Yeah,
with us, but
so-
he's very organized. He does a PowerPoint presentation. Steve Agate, look up his name, AGID. His show on how movies have influenced space today was really insightful.
Huh.
To look at things from the Woman in the Moon,
Oh, well, I did see
where
that
you
one. I
get
saw
where
that.
you
Yeah,
get
he
the
was-
3, 2, 1 countdown.
Yeah, that's right.
To
And he was
you
talking
know,
about the scientific film,
yeah.
the sci-fi films.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dean. Steve Agate. That was going to drive me nuts. Yeah, Marty.
Carlton's still waiting for an answer. Is this an open invitation? Eating
Yes.
Dinner.
yeah, come on
Yeah.
out.
Yes, it is an open
It is
invitation.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who else.
Who
gonna be
started
there.
it? Did
uh,
you start it or
Ellen Runyon contacted
Ellen Runyon
me,
started it? Okay.
and then I know she was in contact. John will be there. Zarella, I know Mark. That's it. And of course us. I don't know who else will be there.
Dave Stangy's updated us that his grandbaby's coming the end of March instead of middle of April, so he's dying that he can't come to Shuttle
Oh.
Fest. But
Oh.
his wife Julie's got your priorities lined up there. But hopefully that healthy grandbaby will come 2
Shuttle
weeks
Fest.
earlier there, Stangy, and we can have you there. We're going to plan some VIP events. There will be a Saturday night VIP event that you'll be invited at with the astronauts as our sponsors. We're going to put some other layers onto Shuttle Fest there. Co-chairman is Chris Calley, who we're patterning this after Shuttle Space Fest. Many of you went to Space. Did you ever go to Space Fest?
Never
we
got there.
haven't.
All right. Space Fest was a big deal in the middle of Arizona in Tucson, where the Poor family, artist Kim Poor, who passed away, and his wife Sally, and family put it on at a resort out there. They had hundreds of people show up, dozens of Apollo
Yeah,
astronauts.
driven by the Apollo guys.
Yeah, the Apollo guys were there. Sometime 15 of them
Right.
autographing at $300 an autograph
Absolutely.
and taking home a big fat check. But you know what? That torch is passed, and we all know that. And we
That's
are
right.
doing. I actually talked to Sally Poor to get her permission. Tell her if you're going to continue it, we're not going to steal yours, but we're going to do something on our coast to celebrate shuttle. And so we are, and she endorsed it and gave us her
Terrific.
blessing on that. And so this is where we're trying. We've got so many people out there, like John Tilco, that
Mhm.
went there. Do you know Dr. John Tilco? I've heard of him,
Yes, yeah.
and he's already bought his ticket.
Okay.
Folks, okay. So some of you out there, like the USIAC brothers, save your money. I'm going to be comping you guys, all right, to help out, but it's only going to be $90, and we're going to be fleecing the flock there to try to get this a fundraiser for us, that
Yes.
we can give you a certificate to get a tax break and all that stuff on there. So we're
Are there-
looking
are
forward
there
to that.
plans- Are there plans to do some type of silent auction or anything like that?
Yes,
Okay.
we're going to have a silent auction. Would you like to help Marty organize that? Marty, you're going to do the silent auction for us.
I will, but this is the first I heard about it.
Oh,
Other than we're gonna do one, but.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to get
Mitch
the meeting
loves to
started
buy
next
stuff at
week,
auctions.
and I'm
Well, I don't
thinking
think
you've
that's what
done
he has in
he's
mind.
done silent auctions before.
Okay.
Do you like doing silent auctions?
If there's something that I can do to help in that regard, I'm happy to help. It's the advantage of being retired.
Chris Callie has for us for this. We're going to have some special auctions. We are going to have a pre-auction drawing. We're going to have a Alan Bean reaching for the stars poster signed by
Okay,
a
I
couple
know.
a
Yeah.
dozen astronauts. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure. I know the painting.
Callie's got one of those donated to
Okay.
us that sells for $1,200 all day long, and we're gonna sell $20 raffle tickets for that. You don't have to even go to Shuttlefest to get the raffle ticket. A way for us to make money.
Okay.
Chris is donating some artwork. Tom and Mark Usiak are donating one of their beautiful launch photos of a shuttle. And we're going to have stuff like that. I'm sure Doug
Perfect.
Forrest, another artist, will want to donate something for the silent auction. So, yes, we're going to have that layered on. We're going to have a event tent because the Hyatt place is too small to really even have it this year. But I love Dana, the manager, who's done so much for us to get this off the ground. That I told her I can't take it away from you this year. I'll just limit the number of people there. And but we're gonna have an event tent where we'll have breakfast and lunch, and people can hang out and have an adult beverage or two in the evening. And of course, we'll be twisting John tonight about Shuttlefest
Okay.
trip to Zorella's. What
Oh, sure. To auction that
I need
off.
some sponsorship money
Absolutely.
from Zorella there and
For
Mike
sure.
to promote their place there. So, but
Yeah,
that's
good
what we're
idea.
gonna do.
Good thinking.
But it takes people like you folks to make this happen. And I've been involved in things like this in the astronomical community, and I'm all about the fellowship.
Absolutely.
That's why we're friends. That's
That's
why I'm
right.
friends with so many of you, is we truly like each other's company, don't you think?
Well, let me say this. When we launched the social media space, one of the things we wanted to do was work with museums, support air and space museums, and to be able to work with your museum and you and the folks here it's special for us. It's like being with family. So we're
Good.
excited to be a
No
part of
doubt.
it for sure.
Well, we want to be like family. We do. That's been my dream from day one here, is this becomes the hangout.
Right.
You're going to pay $75 or buy a pass to go to Kennedy Space Center. But you come here, you can have a cup of coffee, you can hang out. You don't know. You're going to meet people from all over the world here,
And see some
All right.
very cool artifacts.
and hang out with the artifacts that still, I look at the cases and pull out things that, I didn't know that was here. Or I have forgot about that or whatever in there. So we appreciate everybody watching. We're getting towards the end of our program here. Paul, why don't you thank some of our guests that are watching?
Okay, we have David,
Da-
Dave Strange.
Stangy.
Stangy. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Stangy.
Okay, what is this?
Tommy
Tom.
Usiak.
You probably recognize the names better than I do.
Well, this one is easy.
Dean Babcock. We've got Bill Whiting.
Steve Agate. Thank you.
What is that?
Tom Celentano in Connecticut.
Yep.
Dr. Bob Slater, and his wife Mary.
We've got John.
Carlton
You're
Bailey.
invited. You're invited, CB. Show up. We'll
Is
save
it
you a seat.
Barilla?
John Barilla.
Oh, and we've got Donna Martinez and Squeebles. That's
John
my
Barella,
niece.
we've interviewed here. He's from New York, and he's a space geek, and he loves. He's semi-retired and loves coming down here. So, thank you. I saw some. He gets his autographs framed, and he had some beautiful frame stuff up there. And John's been on the show down here just to talk before.
And Gary.
Gary Jarrell.
Yep.
From Georgia.
Yeah, missing Steve Jokums. Hope he's okay. I'll have to drop him a line there. And some of you others on there that commenced. But wanted to say hi to Sharon Gonzalez, who watches. She is the out at the Space Force Center, the Sand Space Force Center. She does the gift shop there. Sharon does. Thank you, Sharon, for promoting us, word of mouth. And I know... who am I running out of here? Hazel.
Oh.
Hazel Seacack Banks. I know you're watching, Hayes. So she is excited that her Buffalo Bills looking
Right.
pretty bad in the NFL right now. So, and there. So let's end it with we've got a launch tonight.
Yes.
Another noisy SpaceX rocket going off.
Well,
there.
and they've moved the New Glenn off the launch pad, right? Isn't that what you were telling me?
Yes, New Glenn was scheduled for June 7th now, I think, Tuesday night. Carlton says it might be pushed another
January.
day or two. January, yeah, June.
Yeah.
It was out at the pad for about a week, but someone told me here in the museum they pulled it off the pad. And I think it was Pat Atkins we were talking to, said that they pulled it off the pad and took it back into somewhere to check out something. So don't be critical about the delays on a maiden flight of a rocket as
Yeah.
huge as this one. This is
Take your time.
320 feet tall. That's 100 feet more. 100 feet is 10 stories, folks. 10 stories taller than the Falcon 9 rocket. So, of course, they're going to have some problems and be a little edgy about getting the first one off.
Right.
Jeff Bezos knows every dime of your profit, and his wonderful Amazon business has gone into this thing. And so everybody wants it to be a winner, but they don't want to take, the risks of the anomalies. Marty.
Yeah, Carlton Bailey made a comment several minutes ago, actually a half hour ago. My little birdie say, don't be surprised if New Glenn moves out 48 hours.
Okay, another 2 more days. That put it like Thursday, something like that. And why are they photographing it in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard something about that. Carlton and I were talking about that. Why are this 11 o'clock midnight stuff on this maiden flight stuff, okay? Well, you got to think of the traffic at Port Canaveral and the fishing going on in the Atlantic and so forth. And if they do it in the middle of the night, they don't have to disrupt so much of the day-to-day stuff in there, because most of these activities of fishing and so forth are happening in the daylight. So Carlton thinks these are being moved at night by the Space Force 45th Space Wing that schedules this stuff
And having
for the
seen-
safety of people that make their living on the Atlantic Ocean. What do
And
you-
night flights are fabulous.
Yeah,
I
Night
love
launches,
looking
yeah.
at night
We
launches.
can see them even from where we are. But I guess the only thing that's curious to me, and maybe Colton can address it, is why had that not, or maybe it has been an issue in the past. I just didn't know that. Is that something that's been an issue in the past? The idea that they're delaying a launch for at night so as to not interfere with daily living.
Marty's been around longer than I have. I would say no, it's not been an issue in the past, but you know what? They've doubled the number of cruise liner boats that are now parked out there at the spaceport.
Okay.
It's the home of 7, and they're building a couple more terminals to maybe have 8 or 9 behemoth, cruise ships out there. So that's increased some. Marty, what do you think?
Let me read you. Carlton just commented on that. and Carlton's saying regular traffic as well. I'm hearing that when it does go, they might not allow visitors on the Cape itself, like people with car passes. They'll be putting them in different locations.
Is it that there's some concern about the safety of the vehicle? What does Carlton know? I'm just wondering what.
I don't think it's a matter. I mean, it could be.
And he just mentioned too, holiday season traffic here at the end of the year, but now it might have cleared up. But
It might be. It's the first time on this big rocket, so.
That's what I'm wondering
It could
because
be.
of the size of the vehicle and it's the first go round.
and there's two stages to it. There is a second stage that they want to put a payload, a dummy payload, up in orbit with, but
Yeah, plus it's close to the Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach.
absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
That's where I'm going to go to watch it pop off too.
The Cocoa Beach Pier.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go Cape Canaveral, Buchanan Beach. The
Okay.
streets are named after presidents, and Buchanan's one of the better beaches there. In fact, handicap access to from Buchanan Beach is all the way out to the on the sand. It's really nice how they have a carpet out there for wheelchairs or something like that. So just if you're just a tip out there. Well, I've enjoyed this conversation, killing an hour with two new friends here. I hope you all have something you'd like to say, Paula, that you haven't been able to.
I don't think so. I think I've been able to say whatever I wanted to. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed coming to your show. I'm really looking forward to Shuttle Fest.
Great. Well, we appreciate
It'll be a
that a
blast.
lot. We're the pressure's on, but yeah, we're just this is a dream of the museum, is that we establish something like this that everyone can enjoy. And I think we have 4 astronauts. We've got about 8 or 9 to 10 that live within a drives here. All right, they're gonna want to. Who's not? If you're Winston Scott, aren't you want to come by and say hi to Eileen?
Absolutely.
And so forth. So this, I think, year will be an event talked about for years, because I expect we'll have some people show up unexpectedly, and if we sell out, the only people allowed to crash it will be astronauts. Okay, on there. So
Spread the word.
yeah, spread
be
the
allowed
word
to
that they can
crash.
come and crash.
Right.
I'm gonna-
Astronauts are
well,
welcome to crash.
I'm already putting out there, Mike McCully, if you come, I'll buy you a beer, okay? And all we want you to do is just show up, drink a beer, get some hugs, and you can go back to your wife Jane and your Shih Tzu dogs. So yeah, Marty.
Yeah, Dean Babcock is asking, am I still going to have a special tour of the lunar module? And unless things change, Mark, I'll be out there.
No,
I'll
we're
do the tour.
that's another layer we've added to that,
Yeah,
Marty.
that's one of the, I'm looking forward to that myself.
Tell them what that is, Marty. What you're gonna do.
A tour of the lunar module.
Friday morning, and Monday morning after Shuttle Fest, Marty will have a meet you out to Space Center. We'll meet at the hotel or something, and you'll hop on the bus. You have to pay for your own ticket, and Marty will give you a tour of the LEM 9. That's the live deal out there. First, he will all give you a birth certificate that you're all kin folk and cousins, because the Space Center doesn't want these former docents doing tours at random, but we'll look into that later. And then when you come off the bus from the Saturn V Center, you'll be dropped off and you'll go into the Atlantis and have Terry White give you a personal tour of Atlantis, all for the cost of a Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex ticket. And then, of course, we'll have a big tip jar out there for Terry and Marty.
How does, so I know when you go with the ASF, you can get a ticket that I think,
You're paying for it though, honey.
no, I know, but
That's part of their.
yeah, but somebody's giving it to
Yeah,
them.
we'll see. I'll talk to Caroline
Yeah, I
Shoemaker
was
more
thinking
about
of
things
that.
like
I was
that.
thinking of
Caroline
that.
and she's the CEO, like I
Right,
said.
right, yeah.
And
She would
Caroline,
know.
I'm not going to. I mean, I'm going to admit we're kind of over our head because we've not had to deal with 4 astronauts. years past they dealt with up to 12 and so forth at dinners and so forth, but this is a different event than just coming to an event. So I'm relying on the people who've been there before. And Caroline Shoemaker, thank you for your willingness to help navigate some of the things that I don't want to look stupid doing, like how do we handle autographs? All right. I don't think John Grunsfeld wants you coming up with a model of the shuttle and saying
No.
autograph this for
Not
me,
at all.
okay?
And
And so we're going to have some disciplined autograph sessions. Do the astronauts want to autograph anything, or if they're a book only, type of thing, or limit it to 2 or 3 items? Do they want to charge for their autograph? We don't mind if they charge for it, if they give some of the money back to us. I don't think they need the money. Should we charge for it? I don't know. We don't want to.
It's a fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser, and we want people to know that. But I don't want it to get too turned off by everywhere you turn, everything costs something. But believe you me, you're going to get a swag bag that you're going to enjoy, and there'll be some valuable things in there for you. So, but good questions that we're going to iron out starting next week when I get the Shuttle Fest committee going. Dean Babcock, you will be amazed at what Marty Winkle can tell you about these lunar modules, and you'll be looking at the one that was scheduled for Apollo 15, but put on the shelf because the 15 then had the rover, and LEM 9 did not have the descent stage adapted for the rover. Correct, Marty?
Correct.
All right. If I wasn't, he'd already be jumping on it. Well, thank you all for watching today. Anyone else up there with a comment or question, Marty?
No, it looks like we're all caught up.
All right, good. Thank you again, lovely Paula. It's so
You're
great to
very
meet
welcome.
you every time we
Well,
do.
good to
Thank
see
you, my
again.
friend.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we will look forward to doing this again. Why not when we're in town here? Just talk about stuff that's dear to our heart. Next time you're on, I've set you up already about your manned space. We can breeze through that and just talk about
Yeah,
some
one
of
of
the
the
fun that we
days.
have
So
there.
maybe one time we'll actually take a look at a couple of clips from videos we've done.
Good. We'll do that as soon as we get capability to do that here. We know we're
We'll
learning
talk.
out. We're learning out. So thank you all for watching, getting our week in 2025 kicked off. I can't thank all the guests that we had enough. Done over 235 episodes this year. We're rounding, getting close to 1,200. I think we'll hit 1,200 next week in the 4 years since this was born out of the pandemic. And the American Space Museum and our U.S. Space Walk of Fame Foundation thanks you mightily for all your contributions financially, spiritually, and physically, things that you've done to enhance our museum and this program, Stay Curious. So until next week, when Marty and I rack it up and freshen up and do it again, I'm Mark Marquette saying I can't wait to see you in our museum to do what?
Bridge the
Bridge
space
the space
between us.
between us. Thank you, guys.